But right now, there's also something that's really relevant and which is really timely to be done. It's a challenge called Genovasi Challenge.
That's right. So to welcome our guest in the studios who's going to tell us more about it, let's welcome Michael Teo, entrepreneur, and also the first Malaysian ambassador. He was given that title recently.
One Malaysian ambassador,
by our Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Good morning, Michael. How are you doing?
Very good morning to all of you. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good
Thanks
morning.
for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me here.
Our pleasure. All right, let's start off with the Genovasi Challenge itself. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in it.
Well, I got involved with the Genovasi Challenge.my challenge as a judge. I judged the hundreds of entries, literally hundreds of entries, ideas that were contributed by fellow Malaysians to actually better our country, to solve social illnesses, to actually create sustainable solutions for communities in our neighborhoods. And I must say that I am very impressed with what Malaysians could actually contribute should we be able to think innovatively and more importantly put our minds together collectively. So I'm really proud of the ideas that our Malaysians have contributed through this challenge, challenge.my.
So you are one of the judges in the panel.
That's right.
So what made you decide to be part of this Genovasi Challenge?
I think it's just amazing to see what we Malaysians can come up with, especially with Genovasi leading the way of introducing innovative thinking among our next generation of leaders or people that we would know as the youths today.
Right.
I think it's very important to see what are their perspectives, how are they actually envisioning a sustainable future that we can all be a part of, that we can all support their solutions that they think is right for our society. So I think that attracted me the most to join Genovasi's Challenge.my.
So if you log on to www.challenge.my, that is the website, and you will come across this page. So tell us more about this. You know, you're already part of the panel of judges.
Yes.
And you already shortlisted some of these entries.
That's right.
So what do you think of this entry so far? What have you come across?
I think personally for me, we have a great panel of judges from industry experts to CEOs of Malaysia's leading NGOs. I think personally for me, I found that these entries were sustainable, number one. They were also impactful. Number three, they're also scalable. That was the criteria that I've used to personally assess and pick my top 10 that is now open for public voting. And I think one of the reasons why we wanted the public to vote for the best ideas that will ultimately receive a funding of up to 100,000 ringgit was that we hope that the community would gain ownership of that solution, that they all feel that they can be a part of that solution when it is implemented out in their neighborhoods, in their communities. And I think that is the sense of empowerment plus innovation in action right there.
All right. Among all the ones, your top 10, could you just give us a quick sort of a rundown? What are some of the ideas that they have come up with, just in brief?
Something that really sparked your interest, you know?
I would say a lot of the ideas that have been shortlisted were focusing on reducing our crime rate, enhancing the security of our neighborhoods. There are even some that is concerned with environmental conservation. There's some that is actually concerned with preservation of our community cultures. So these are all really amazing ideas. Now, I wouldn't want to vote, or I wouldn't want to just give credit to any of the ideas, but I would leave that to the public voting to decide which idea they feel is the one that they would love the most.
So ultimately, the public will be voting.
Exactly.
And why did you decide to let the public vote on this?
I think it's giving them empowerment. It's because we didn't want a panel of judges to just decide on the best idea or the winning idea, because we wanted Malaysia to be a part of this process. We wanted Malaysia to actually take the ownership when the idea is launched, with the funding that we'll provide for the idea, that all Malaysians feel that they are part of it. So in order for them to be a part of it, they need to actually vote, they need to actually cast their opinions, their ideas, to make sure that when the idea does happen, we all can play a collective role in making it happen, making it a success.
Right. Well, let's talk about Malaysian youth, for instance. I think Malaysian youth have been portrayed in a lot of ways, good and bad, in a lot of lately and before. So with this whole Genovasi challenge and everything, your take on our youth right now, and how innovation is going to help them.
Right. Just to give a little bit of background, not too long ago, I had the opportunity to lead a global expedition to 22 countries where I worked on community projects, I worked with governments, multinational companies and NGOs across 22 countries upon winning a competition in the UK. Now, throughout my world expedition during that time, I've seen how other young people in other countries were reacting, how they were actually solving problems. But I think that there was a gap to fill. The gap was perhaps they needed more innovative solution to be implemented by youths themselves on the community. Now, in terms of Malaysian youths being labeled in a certain stereotype or in certain campaigns or the recent YouTube campaigns or sensation, I would say that we have a lot more to share. And I think given platforms like Challenge.my or the good efforts done by Genovasi, I think right now Malaysian youths are having the opportunity to be educated and to be guided on innovatively coming up with solutions for our country. And I think they should take up this opportunity because believe me, after having traveled to 22 countries, doing volunteer work, speaking to thousands of people, especially leaders and youths, Malaysian youths, we have a lot to offer you. We are living in a country of abundance. There's so many opportunities here. We should just take up these opportunities and make the best out of them.
So how did it feel to be the One Malaysia ambassador and also, you know, tell people that, okay, yeah, we are actually at par with you guys or even better, something like that?
I would say that it was a great honor to be entrusted with the responsibility by the rightful honorary Prime Minister just last Friday, actually. And to be recognized along 19 other huge icons in Malaysia like Datuk Lee Chong Wei, Datuk Nico David, and I was recognized for my nation-building efforts and for my continuous campaign to inspire, to train, because I'm a trainer and an entrepreneur by profession, to train the youths to upskill themselves to give back to the country. It's a huge honor, but at the same time, it comes with huge responsibility. It also means that there is bigger expectations for me to participate in platforms like Genovasi to actually promote youths' involvement in creating sustainable solutions, generating ideas for the betterment of our citizens and the country in general.
Okay. Now, Genovasi seems like a very interesting idea because what you're doing is you're getting youths to come forward, create an environment or create a platform to better the environment and better their area.
That's right.
It's something that I would expect the younger generations to start picking up on, especially when you're talking about on the ground level, which is school level.
Okay.
Would you, Michael, then, as an icon yourself, actually go into the schools to give these ideas to the younger generation who are there? I mean, yes, the youths are there, but the seedlings at the school, those are the ones that we want to target as well.
Of course.
So would you now be going towards them to say, hey, look, try getting something going, or do something in the education system to say maybe this is something that you want to give it a try. Get the youths to think out of the box.
Of course, most definitely. God willing, if such opportunity is provided, I'm open for discussion. I would love to give back. I think our young people in Malaysia, we have very creative ideas and we are given the liberty to actually explore these ideas, work in collaboration in tandem with partners. I think what happened is that with Genovasi's introduction into our ecosystem, basically right now we are providing them with a framework or a guide to actually guide them to innovate not only impactful solutions, but sustainable solutions, scalable solutions, practical solutions. So it's not wishy-washy or wishful thinking. These are practical examples, practical ideas that are churned out by our own Malaysian youth. Regardless if you're from high school or from university or even from you're in the professional job line already. I think if you have an idea to contribute, go to challenge.my, and I think that's an excellent platform for you to contribute and share your ideas with Malaysia.
Right. So ultimately, what are you intending to gain from this challenge, and is it going to be like a long-term effort, or is it something that is just going to be termed as just a one-off program?
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure for Genovasi, I think they're looking at this as part of the strategic plan to churn out more ideas, to brainstorm more ideas among Malaysians. Personally, for me, I love talents. I love ideas. It's always been my passion to connect with Malaysians, to develop their ideas. So if there's any opportunity for me to actually work with fellow young Malaysians to develop their ideas, basically bring it up to the next level, bring it up towards implementation and community, I would really want to support it.
Okay. Now, you talked about sustainability, and I think that's what a lot of people are looking forward to. Sustainability of any project.
That's right.
Be it, you know, even if it's a pea-sized project, they still want it to be sustained. So let's talk about sustainability of what's coming. Now, the 10 top that you have listed as shortlisted as your contenders. If any one of them, ends up winning that money,
Of course.
100,000 grand or whatever.
Yes.
Where do you see that going in, say, in the next 5 years? Because the people who just started it,
Right.
do you expect them to continue on with it, or
And follow
is it going
up,
to be passed down to somebody else to follow up? Because a lot of times this is what
Yes.
people have a problem with.
Yeah.
Things start off, we don't sustain it.
Will you monitor?
Well, I think Genovasi would put plans into place to actually oversee the project, to actually see that it comes to fruition. But I think for the teams or for the individuals or for the talents that have actually pitched these ideas at the moment, I think they do have an intent to make it sustainable.
Right.
But I always believe that once we have identified our ultimate winner, you get so much of help coming from different parties in Malaysia. You have investors wanting to put in money, you would have collaborators wanting to collaborate, you have sponsors, you have organizations that just want to help make the project better or bring it up to the next level. So in terms of sustainability, I would say it is subject, well, to be honest, it is subject to the individuals or the team that are currently pushing the project. But this is my personal belief. If you have a winning idea, I'm pretty sure if you feel that your time is up implementing that idea, someone else will take it over and make it better. That's what I believe.
So is Genovasi going to be monitoring it by any chance?
I would say it's part of their strategic plan. I would say Genovasi has a very talented team, a very driven team, one of the most hardworking individuals I've ever known in the team personally. And I think they're going to do a great job for the country.
I'm sure. So when will the public start to vote or get to know all these challenges or that's been shortlisted by yourself?
I believe right now you can go to challenge.my. What a great name for a competition. That's also the URL for the website.
It's very easy to remember.
Yeah. Challenge.my, and you will find all the information there, including the closing dates for the vote. So I would encourage the top 10 finalists to actually now go out there, get as many people voting, get as many of your friends commenting on your ideas, and just keep on improving on it, because better ideas lead to better Malaysia at the end of the day.
What happens if you do have a tiebreaker?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're leaving it to the public, right?
Yeah,
Of course,
if you're leaving it up to, because you don't exactly have a panel sitting there and saying, okay, we vote on this and we vote on that. So
well,
assuming you end up with a tiebreaker,
yes.
what's that one trigger that would determine the winner?
I would say that Genovasi would have put plans into place. I'm not sure. Perhaps they're not announcing yet because it's going to be a surprise should there be a tiebreaker. But if we judges were summoned again to actually cut that tiebreaker, I'll be the first to volunteer.
Okay, that's great to know. Okay, what advice would you like to share or give to the budding entrepreneurs out there when it comes to being very innovative and helping all Malaysians?
I would say that there are plenty of platforms available. In fact, sometimes I feel that for especially our young entrepreneurs, I think they're a little bit spoiled. Because there are too many platforms available and they're just not looking.
Okay.
So I think just doing a simple search on Google would actually land you a few opportunities, many opportunities in fact, in Malaysia to access grants, mentorship, platforms to network. So I think the opportunities are out there. I think they just need to grab it right now.
Okay. Judging criteria, you've got as innovation, quality, feasibility of implementation, sustainability, impact, and scale.
And who are the judges besides?
Well, a whole
Michael
load of
here.
people. You've got Dr. Jake Abdullah, who's the CEO of 1M4U. Then you've got Nur Farini.
All I see
Daing.
is CEOs and
I
founders.
know, CEOs, entrepreneurs, founders, whole load of people here who actually do know, what to look out for when it comes to a winning idea.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Genovasi has one of the most capable teams in Malaysia. They do pick their judges really well. I mean, it's really interesting to see that the judges were picked not only representing government to some, but they're also representing the industry. So they're giving out, really giving the perspective of the heartbeat of what the community is feeling. They engage with the grassroots. So definitely, I think this is a very good judging panel. And I think for the top 10 entries that have been shortlisted, they've been evaluated based on how impactful they can be, how sustainable they can be, how feasible they can be. And I think right now, Malaysia has a chance to vote on their favorite ideas that is both practical and would bring benefit to the country.
We would like to thank you so much, Michael, for coming to the studio
Thank
this
you.
morning.
Yeah,
and of
thank
course,
you.
for more information about this Genovasi challenge, you can log on to the website www.challenge.my, and also it will be updated accordingly. And we will soon find out who is the winner.
That's right, the winning idea. I can't wait to know as well. All right, Michael, thank you so much,
Thank
and
you
wishing
very
you
much.
all the best.
Thank you.
Now, for you out there, don't go away because we do have a whole load of stuff coming in.
Another one?
We have another movie review coming up much later. Besides that, we have, of course, the Guruji in the studios to tell us how you can
favorite motivator.
make your mullahs and keep them sustainable.
Don't go
All right,
away.
quick breaker.
Yeah.